Sabadon, what do you know about the indigenous spiritual system of the Somali people before Islam?
Oh, we praised one God before. Like we had a form where you could say Tawheed, like worshiping only God. We had a God, but his name was Wak.
So what do you know about the religion though? So you know the name of the god. What do you know about the religion?
I know we worship, like you prayed for rain for like when times of drought and things like that. You prayed for rain, and it's pretty much just worshiping God. We have
Right,
words in somebody like Badwako and then things like that. That means blessings from God, like from Wak.
right, and that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. Like the actual practice was mono. It
Now you see
was
but do you see what you lot are doing though? You're okay. Let me ask you a question here. You see
right.
the
Yeah.
the religion that deals with work here, is it
Yeah.
similar to what the would the Oromo also have had that?
The Roma also, because like they're also Cushitic people, and they have like
Right.
the same words. They say walk also. Yeah.
Right. So now
Yeah.
if we deal with the religion of the Oromo, yeah, like there are things
Yeah.
that we can learn about it, and I'm saying that because the idea of like monotheism is again an imposition. This is what I'm saying. Because if you was
Yeah.
to ask that somebody that deals with Ifa tradition in West Africa, are you monotheistic or are you polytheistic? They're not gonna know what you're
Yeah.
talking about, right? Just what I'm saying,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's no concept of it in the traditional system, yeah. So these are all
Yeah.
concepts that come from outside, right? So they say now that work here or the religion is actually called Wakafena or something like that. Yeah. From my remembrance, it's Wakafena. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm correct about that. Yeah, and they say that's a monotheistic religion, but
Yeah.
they have the supreme deity Waka, and then there are spirits here that are called Ayana. Yeah. All right.
I've never heard from that. I never heard like from any of my like elders and things like that. I never heard about that. Know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
I'm just saying though. But so you got the Supreme, and then you got Ayana. Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
in Ifa, you've got they say Ifa is a polytheistic religion. Yeah, but you've also got
Yeah.
Umade, and you've got Arusha. Yeah. So why is
Yeah.
one polytheistic and one monotheistic?
Why is what?
I don't know. You said why? Well, why was polytheistic?
Why is Waka Fena monotheistic and Ifa polytheistic? What
I
makes
don't
what?
know. I can't say 'cause I don't know much about Ifa. I don't
No,
know much about like
I'm,
Western
I'm
African
asking you.
beliefs. Know
I'm
what I mean?
asking you. Though, I'm asking you based upon just
Yeah.
the description that I'm giving you. So in Wakefena, yeah, you have the Waka, yeah, who's the supreme deity, okay, God, yeah,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
have the various spirits, yeah, which are what's it called, part of his creation, yeah, which are called Ayana,
Those
yeah.
could be considered angels.
Well, you could, but I'm saying that
Yeah.
in Ifa, they say Ifa is a polytheistic religion. Yes,
Yeah.
and you have
Yeah.
Olodumare, and you have the
Yeah.
spirit, which are called Orisha. What
Yeah.
makes Ifa polytheistic and Waka or Wakafena monotheistic?
So
I
so
don't know. I can't say like I never called it polytheistic because I don't really know much about it. Know what I mean? Like I don't know what the beliefs are of Ifa, like what you guys as far as Western African beliefs. You feel me? So like you have to expand more and like educate me on stuff about things like that because I don't know much
right.
about like what you. I can't call it polytheistic because I don't know what you guys believe. You know what I mean?
All right, cool.
So if I would, that's what I was saying earlier about like certain people would say that the Ifa is poly, how do you say it,
Polytheistic.
polytheistic religion, while other people would say a monotheistic religion. It depends. The thing is, it depends on how you practice and what you do. That's how I see it. Because me personally, I wouldn't condemn everything that they do because that's why I said it depends. I was trying to ask you, certain things about how you, what do you do, and the way of life. Because some people would tell you, it's shirk, while other people who understand, the it's like 9 out of 10 times you will find the worst way of practice when you see the Ifa way of life, while the 1% is the one that will never be seen and wouldn't be understood by a lot of people.
Yeah,
Is only one God worship the Ifa?
I disagree with that assessment because there are Orisha ceremonies practiced every year in Nigeria by thousands of people, right? So if people wanted to see the positive what's it called in Ifa, they would. It just so happens that the tradition is demonized because of the fact of terms like pagan and heathen and idolatry and all of these things. Yeah. So it's not that the tradition itself is mostly manifesting badness. It's that the people in the majority see the tradition as bad. Yeah. If Ifa was doing so much wickedness in Nigeria, then we would, like, you know, just what I'm saying, like it doesn't make any sense. Plus the fact that it doesn't matter how much wickedness is done in the name of other religions. Nobody sees the religion itself as inherently wicked or evil or destructive, in spite of the fact that there is no comparison to be made, as I have said before, between any African indigenous spiritual system and any other Abrahamic religion in terms of, you know, if we're gonna actually make a comparison between good and evil done in its name, there's no comparison to be made there, none whatsoever. Yeah, nobody could bring me no argument to say, well, the worse is done. Yeah, in the African indigenous spiritual system, nobody could bring me that argument.
When you say that,
how many people still follow that in West Africa?
Because the only reason why I would disagree with you is in the fact that where I lived at, it's like a lot of people invoke these certain things say for instance, they could kidnap a baby or whatever, kill a baby or chop off a woman's titties in order to make money, in order to save someone's life, in order to destroy people's crops, in order to basically all they do is 9 out of 10 times all they do is evil. While
you're saying this, bro. If practitioners in Nigeria, they're not going to tell me this. This is what I'm trying to say. All right, I'm going to show you an example here.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. It's what I've seen with my own life. Is what my own eyes is where I lived at. Is what I see almost every day. It's like evil. That's why I said I kind of agree with you when I see a practicing spiritualist that is positive minded. You barely find them. I can say you in the diaspora. I can say you are one of them that speaks, you know, in this ways. But if you look at these people, even your aura, when you see them, you feel your spirit, your body feels some type of way, like it tells you this person is evil and they about to do something evil to you. But if you meet the right ones, which you barely see them, you be like, oh, this person, although they look dressed up like Shango, Ifa, or whatever, but they look like they're not gonna harm me. And you barely see people like that. That's my point.
I suggest to you, my brother, that the reason why you barely see them is because the tradition has been marginalized and degraded and discriminated against. Not because it's inherently wicked.
I would like to leave very soon, but who is discriminating this way of life, other than the white people or whatever? Let's talk about our people.
Yeah, but the reality is that African spiritualist traditions have been discriminated against since at least the 11th century in West Africa, if in specific, and in Africa in general, basically since the coming of foreign religions.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about foreign religions. Let's talk about ourselves. I'm talking about. For instance, in my community, I have never seen a practicing Ifa or whatever who helps other people while they are sick, while they got diabetes or whatever. But I would tell you that I've seen people who invoke these things just to kill people, just to destroy people's properties, crops. Name it, a whole bunch of atrocities. That's why I was saying that's the difference.
Shakara, let me ask you a question real quick.
Let me ask you a question, Malik. Yeah, you see the police, yeah, in Nigeria and the army, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, the police, the army, the government in general, yeah, are most of them Christian and Muslim?
All of them are.
I would say both, and I would say also they don't have faith.
Maybe so, but they're not IFA.
I would say they do.
Right? They're not IFA. Yeah. What's it called?
That's like 1%.
Huh?
I said that's like 1-2%.
Right. No, what of the country or the government?
Huh?
The country or the government?
No, I'm talking about the people. You said, do we have
Here I'm saying. I understand where I'm going. The government in Nigeria, yeah, and the police and the soldiers and them kind of things there, they are more or less always Christian and Muslim, yes?
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Yes, I would say so.
Right.
The establishment, yes.
Right. One second. Do the police and the soldiers commit wicked acts against the people of Nigeria?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Is that a regular occurrence?
Yes.
Yeah, regular occurrence.
Anybody call Christianity and Islam wicked and evil, and you only see good Christians some of 1% of the time?
No, I would say
all Muslims aren't perfect. No, nobody's perfect.
I would say the same thing about Christians and Muslims also. The backside is always the ones that people see. That's why we always come in here and have this argument about Christianity does this and Islam does that. They take people for slaves and whatnot.
You're missing my point, bro. You're missing my point because you're saying, yeah, that you only the 99.9% of the time, yeah, that in Nigeria, IFA is done only for wickedness, yeah, and that 1%, this is an amazing statement. 1%, yeah, of the time is wickedness that people are doing it for. They want to kill people and so on and so forth, right? I'm putting it to you.
Same thing with Christian and Islam also, yeah.
Right, but I'm saying to you that the reality is that nobody calls Christianity and Islam wicked. Yeah, nobody says that Christianity and Islam 99.9% of the time when you see a church, it's just wickedness and evil they might deal with. Yeah, what's it called? Or a mosque, it's just wickedness and evil they might deal with. Now, let me ask you a question, Brother Malik. Yeah, where do you come from in Nigeria?
Lagos.
So Lagos, right? Is that where you were raised?
I was born and raised in Lagos. Right.
In Lagos, yeah, which was the capital city, yes.
Right. Let's say so. Yes.
Right. So most of the IFA practitioners would not be in Lagos, would they?
I would say the fake ones.
Exactly. Right. What's it called? When you're in Lagos, yeah, how often do you see a church and a mosque in comparison to when you see an IFA shrine?
I would say it's both. Let me not lie to you. That's why I was trying to explain to you.
No. Sorry, let me quickly because you misunderstood my question. You see, how it can compare the amount of times you will see a church and a mosque, yeah, with the amount of times you will see an IFA shrine in Lagos.
Okay, yeah, that's on the underground.
Right, the IFA shrine is what, underground? Yes.
Right.
It's not above ground.
No.
So the IFA practitioners are not out in the open doing what they're doing.
No.
But the churches and the mosques are.
Yes.
So if in Lagos now, where you're growing up, you're raised, yeah, that the IFA practitioners have to be underground, yeah. Why are they underground?
For how do you say it? The colonial powers and whatever.
So they're underground because they've been made underground by the colonial powers, yes?
Right.
Would you say that the government of Nigeria is maintaining that designation of the colonial powers?
Yes.
So is it surprising if you don't see the positive that IFA practitioners are doing if they have to be underground in what was the capital city of the country?
Repeat that question.
Is it surprising that you don't see good done in the good that the IFA practitioners are doing if they have to be underground in what was the capital city of the country?
Yes, it's surprising. Like I said, it goes the same for Christianity and Islam.
Why though? How's it the same?
It's three of them, because same way you see the Muslims, I'm not saying all of them, I'm saying majority of people who practice religion and spirituality, they never ever think about the good side of it. it's mostly on the bad side that you see this kind of people, and that's why we have a problem in the community. That's
But
why
bro,
all
I'm
religions,
saying,
that's why your way of life, Shaka, 1 second. That's why your way of life also has been demonized by this same other parties. Because the same thing that is happening in your way of life is also happening in my way of life and in Christianity also.
I'm kind of getting your point. I'm beginning to think I may have understood something that you were saying earlier. At the same time, I would suggest to you that the Nigeria is like almost 50-50 Muslim and Christian, yes?
Well, yeah, I could say that, yes.
Right. So evidently the problems in Nigeria when it comes to wickedness is not IFA.
It's also with them. That's what I was saying. That's why I
Yeah.
said, 1 second. That's why I said when people demonize African spirituality is because most things that they see in the movies, that they see in reality,
That's
is
what I'm
never.
saying, bro. But bro, the movies, and I'm agreeing with you there because I've seen them Nollywood movies, and they never have anything positive to say about African spirituality.
Exactly. That's my
Right?
point.
Right. But that's a movie though, bro. That if
No, I'm talking about reality also. I've seen with my eyes. I live with them, bred with them. I know a whole bunch of them. That's
right,
what I'm saying.
so the people that you're talking about, are they Ifa devotees or Muslims and Christians that go in the bush quietly to go and see a Babalawo?
Both.
Right. Right.
Both. That's my point. That when I say both, that means I've seen Christians and Muslims who would definitely do such a thing, and I've seen African spirituality people who would definitely do the same thing without even going in our scriptures. What they do is learn how to separate man from his wife, learn how to destroy crops and properties, learn how to turn people into money, learn how to do a whole. And this is what I say: African spirituality is also science. But how do we practice this thing to be beneficial to the?
But why are you only mentioning negative things, Bab?
No, but it's not even just that, because I
You
think
said, why am I mentioning negative things?
I think.
You said, why am I mentioning negative things?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is the positive part of it, you will barely see them in the daylight or whatever. You will barely see people like Shaka. You would barely see people like Shaka who would try to help people when they are sick of diabetes, dying of HIV, whatever. I've seen people. One second. I know of a family.
Talk again, man. Just give me one little bit of energy. One question.
Cool.
What sort of news sells more, negative or positive?
What sells more?
What sort of news sells more, negative or positive?
It's always the negative, and sometimes we have to base it on what we see and what is a fact.
Your question, but
well, Shaka, I want to ask you, because Shaka, let me ask you one question real quick. Like, I hear you like to say Abrahamic religions or Islam, or you could say what they call Christianity now, and you could say Judaism, like the tribe of Israel. So you say things like that are foreign. But as far as Islam, Shaka, do you recognize how close Makkah and Medina are to Africa?
Yeah, but for me, what makes something African is not necessarily how close it is to the African continent. It's about the culture that developed the thing. And if it was so African, it wouldn't have felt the need to condemn African spiritual traditions and culture and people.
But who condemned anything? As far as us, the Somali people, we heard the truth. We were always in contact with these people. We knew their culture, they knew our culture. And then we heard the truth and we accepted the truth. And then now, alhamdulillah, we're 99.9, like 100% Muslim, alhamdulillah. And same thing happened with Djibouti, same thing happened in Ethiopia.
Whoa. Wait, sorry, Jack. So are you saying that there's no African spirituality practiced in Somalia?
No. We practice Islam.
Stay there, yeah.
We're one nation, one religion, one people.
All right, Bab. Stay there.
Yeah.
I'll be back. Yeah.
He's probably correct. You're entitled to your opinion, and obviously as a Muslim, you're going to consider the complete wiping out of the indigenous spiritual system of the Somali people as a positive, and I think that there are others, in relation to the context in which Abrahamic religions have related to African spiritual systems that might see it a different way. So